There is something your mother never found the strength to reveal, and the heavens are now breaking silence. The room you were born in carried more than the cries of a newborn. It carried ancient energy that summoned angels and something darker. Something waiting. Your cries were not just of a baby. They were a signal, a sound recognized by forces that have battled for generations. On that day, time paused for a brief second as something sacred stepped through a crack in the spiritual veil. Your arrival brought light into a place that had once been ruled by shadows. Before you opened your eyes, your spirit had already pushed against chains that were meant to be unbreakable. A spiritual contract had been drawn before your soul entered flesh, and today that truth is being unsealed. There were 2 people in the room not mentioned in any hospital report. One wore white with wings so wide they touched both corners of the ceiling. The other stood in the shadow of a wardrobe, hiding its face, whispering lies. But it could not stop your entry into the world. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There was thunder outside, though no clouds were seen. The wind knew your name before any human ever called it. A silence fell over your mother just before she pushed, not from fear, but because she heard a voice no one else heard. A voice that said, "Protect this one." Your mother wasn't alone during labor. Even if everyone else left the room, a woman with silver hair entered and touched her shoulder. That woman was never seen again, and your mother convinced herself she had imagined it. But her touch lingered for days. The woman who touched her was not of this world. She had been assigned to assist in your birth and to block an interference already present in the building. Something dark wanted to replace you, but it failed. You were almost exchanged the moment you came out. A figure cloaked in medical clothing had tried to take you to a different wing, but a nurse whose hands glowed without her knowing stepped in and interrupted the switch. Type Amen to get blessing 445. Your mother cried uncontrollably for reasons she couldn't understand. She later called it postpartum confusion, but deep inside, she knew it was spiritual. Her soul remembered something her mind wasn't allowed to hold. She had dreams for months before your birth, dreams she never told anyone about. Of a white lion circling her belly, of flames that didn't burn, of a man with wings standing beside her. Bed at 3 a.m. Your mother was visited because heaven had chosen you to correct something generations before you had broken. You weren't just born, you were delivered under heavenly command. There was a scroll sealed in gold light hovering above your body at birth. Only 3 beings saw it. One wept, one smiled, and one screamed and vanished into the wall. Your father was present, but there's a truth about him you still don't know. His blood carries both blessing and curse, and your birth was meant to tilt that scale. On that day, the curse tried to win, but your very first breath shattered its grip. Type Amen to get blessing 535. Your hands were clenched, but your fingers were glowing. That glow faded quickly, but the memory of it remains in one nurse who still talks about the child with the golden fists. She was told to never speak of it, but she wrote it in her private journal. The energy in the room shifted so sharply that light bulbs flickered. The machine slowed down for 3 seconds, freezing the heartbeats on screen. Every spiritual being nearby held their breath, for your soul had brought with it ancient authority. Archangel Michael says, "On the day you were born, your name was echoed in 3 different realms. One welcomed you with open arms, one prepared to test you from the start. The last ... It feared you. There's a reason you've always felt like there's something different about you, something watching, something waiting. It's because you were born on a spiritual crossroad where destiny meets danger, and only one survives. Type Amen to get blessing 1022. The woman in silver came back to see you 2 nights later. She stood at your crib and whispered an activation word into your tiny ear. That word remains asleep inside you, but it is starting to awaken now. Your mother heard footsteps every night for the first 7 nights after bringing you home. She searched, but no one was there. Eventually, she stopped searching and began praying, unsure why the air in your nursery felt like both fire and calm. You did not sleep like other babies. You stared at the ceiling for hours, eyes wide, unblinking, as if you were listening to instructions. In those moments, your spirit was still between realms, preparing for what was coming. A stranger once knocked on your mother's door months after your birth. He claimed he was there to check on the starborn. She didn't understand and sent him away, but that man left a feather on the doorstep, one that shimmered for hours before fading. Type Amen to get blessing 799. Your cries were not only cries, they were summons. One night, your cry shattered a vase on its own. The next morning, your mother received an anonymous envelope containing a map and the phrase, "Hide this, child in light." You've always wondered why your life has carried moments of chaos that made no sense, why you feel surrounded by blessings one moment and betrayed the next. This is the residue of that day. The battle that began around your birth still sends echoes today. There was someone in your family who wanted you not to be born, a person who feared what your arrival would mean to the secrets they kept. They tried to spiritually interfere, but they didn't expect heaven to defend you so forcefully. This person later suffered strange dreams and began to avoid you as you grew, not because they hated you, but because your presence reminded them of the moment their power began to fail. That day, your light began to dissolve their hold over your family. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You were named under spiritual pressure. Your true name, your heavenly name, differs from the one you use now. That name was spoken once during your first cry and has not been heard since, but it rings in the ears of spirits. Archangel Michael says, the moment your eyes open, the veil began to lift over a story that has waited many lifetimes to continue. You are not here by coincidence. You were sent into a timeline that required interruption, and you are that disruption. You may have faced hardships in your early life, but those were spiritual booby traps laid in advance. Darkness tried to sabotage your path by bending your surroundings, but your inner compass, no matter how buried, always pulled toward truth. The reason you've been drawn to certain places, certain people, is not random. It's a part of the plan set in motion the day you were born. Your birth was not just a physical event. It was a spiritual revolution. The forces of light and darkness clashed over your crib, each trying to claim you for their side. But you were never meant to be claimed. You were meant to choose, and that choice is coming. The truth of your origin is awakening within you, stirring memories you never knew you had. As you read these words, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. The veil that has hidden your true identity is thinning. You may feel a sudden warmth, a tingling sensation, or a profound sense of peace. These are signs that your spirit is remembering its purpose. The time has come for you to step into the fullness of who you were born to be. Your mother's silence was not betrayal. It was protection. She knew, on some level, that speaking of what she saw and felt would invite danger. But now, the danger has passed, and the truth can no longer be contained. You are a child of destiny, born in a moment when the fabric of reality itself trembled. As you go forward from this revelation, know that you carry within you the power to reshape the world. The light that shone at your birth has never dimmed. It has only been waiting for you to recognize it. Embrace your true identity, for in doing so, you will unlock the potential that heaven saw in you from the beginning. Your journey is just beginning. The truth of your birth is the key that unlocks a destiny greater than you could have imagined. Step into it with courage, for you were born for such a time as this. The heavens are watching, waiting for you to claim your birthright. The world is ready for the light you were born to bring. Type Amen to receive the full activation of your spiritual birthright. Your mother never told you what really happened. The day you were born, it wasn't just a birth. It was prophecy. By keeping silent, she delayed your awakening by years. But that delay is over now. The divine clock has restarted, and the things you have forgotten will now begin to return. Not all at once, but piece by piece, like echoes rising from a deep well. And with each memory, your power will return. You have an ability to reverse spiritual contracts that have plagued your bloodline. This is why you've always faced unusual resistance. Systems built on lies crumble when truth-bearers awaken, and you, child of the storm, were born to awaken them. Type Amen to get blessing 442. The hospitals won't have the full story. The witnesses who were there won't remember it all. But heaven has the entire record, and it's opening it now. When you were taken for your first bath, the water around you turned warmer than it should have. The nurse said nothing, but the next day she requested a transfer to a different department. Your energy had touched her, and she couldn't forget it. There is a mark on your body that holds spiritual significance. It may look like a birthmark, but it is more than that. It is a seal, a lock that only light can open. Your mother may have forgotten some of these signs, but her soul hasn't. That's why sometimes she stares at you silently, eyes filled with thoughts she cannot explain. She knows you carry something she can't protect forever. Type Amen to get blessing 355. The woman in silver was never assigned to another birth after yours. Her mission was complete, and now she waits at the edge of your destiny for the day you'll remember her and call her name. Your dreams lately, they are not dreams, they are rehearsals. Rehearsals for a spiritual war you were born to interrupt. You weren't just born into a family, you were born into a battle. But this battle ends with you, not in violence, but in revelation. In your awakening, others around you will awaken too. Archangel Michael says, you were born to shake foundations. That's why your voice carries weight, why your presence shifts rooms, why people react to you even when you say nothing. Type Amen to get blessing 88. The darkness that tried to take you that night has been watching from afar, waiting to see if you remember. It fears that you will, because when you do, the chain it placed around your bloodline will fall. Your true guardians have been closer than you think. One has been protecting your sleep. One has been opening paths you never knew were blocked. And one has been whispering to you through signs, animals, numbers, and colors. Not every strange coincidence you've ever had was planned. Every near-death experience was intercepted. Every loss you mourned was a necessary delay. You're not late. You're arriving right on time. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The memory of your birth may feel distant, but your spirit remembers every moment. The veil is thinning now. You will start seeing more, knowing more, remembering more. You were never forgotten. You were placed in divine hands even when human ones let go. That's why your soul never gave up. The things that tried to destroy you were only testing what they feared, and what they feared was you. Your birth changed everything, and soon, so will your awakening. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. You were born into a war that existed long before you took form. But unlike others who came before you, you were sent with clearance, permission from heaven to interfere. Your arrival was not just anticipated. It was watched by light and darkness alike. One of your ancestors made a pact in desperation long ago. That pact allowed something unholy to pass through generations, but on the day you were born, that pact began to unravel, because you carried a seal that could not be corrupted. The cry you made was not just heard in the room. It echoed into the spirit world. It interrupted a gathering of shadowy forces that had planned your life in advance. But your light was too strong, too pure, and it caused their scripts to burn. They wanted to delay your spiritual memory, to make you grow up doubting your intuition. But they didn't know that your soul had signed a heavenly agreement. When the time is right, you will remember who you are. Type Amen to get blessing 722. Your birth did not only affect your family. It shifted the atmosphere of your entire region. 3 babies were born still that same night because the energy was redirected. You were protected, but the balance had to be paid elsewhere. You may have noticed that people either instantly connect with you or deeply resent you without reason. That's not random. Your energy reminds them of something they lost or something they failed to be. The woman in silver, the one who visited your crib, left something behind. A strand of her light was embedded into your aura. It activated once when you were a child and stood up for someone who was being hurt. You didn't know why, but you couldn't stay silent. And now, that same strand is glowing again. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Archangel Michael says, there is one more truth that must be told. On the day you were born, a message was sent to someone in another part of the world. That message said, the one has arrived. That person has been preparing ever since. They are not your enemy, they are your mirror. Their purpose connects to yours, and when you meet them, both your memories will deepen. One carries the past, and one carries the future. You carry both. There was a file written about you, not medical, spiritual. And in it were listed 3 tasks you would complete in this lifetime, each one tied to light restoration. The first has already begun. Your presence in certain places has been shifting energies, breaking curses that have lingered for generations. The second task involves your voice, the words you'll speak that will awaken others. And the third The third is why they tried to stop you before you were born. You see, your existence threatens a system that has profited from keeping souls asleep. But you weren't sent here to fight this system. You were sent to dissolve it with truth, with light, with the pure energy you've carried since before your first breath. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. The day you were born, a star appeared in the sky that hadn't been seen for centuries. Astronomers couldn't explain it, but the elders of certain tribes knew. They've been waiting for you, preparing for your awakening. They hold pieces of your story, fragments of the prophecy that foretold your arrival. Your mother's silence wasn't betrayal, it was protection. She was instructed to keep these truths from you until you were ready to bear their weight. But now, as you read these words, something is stirring within you. It's not just emotion. It's recognition. Your soul is remembering its mission. The challenges you've faced, the losses you've endured, they weren't random. They were preparations, forging you into the vessel you need to be for the light you're meant to carry. Every tear you've shed has been collected. Every prayer whispered has been heard. Heaven has been watching, waiting for this moment. You are not alone in this awakening. Across the world, others like you are remembering too. You're part of a soul family, scattered across continents, but connected by an unbreakable spiritual thread. In dreams, you've met them. In moments of déjà vu, you've glimpsed the plan you made together before coming to Earth. The time for hiding is over. The energy you've been holding back, the truths you've been afraid to speak, they're ready to be released. Your words will heal, your touch will awaken, your presence will break chains of generational pain. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Remember, child of light, you weren't born to fit in. You were born to stand out, to shine so brightly that others find their way. The darkness may have tried to dim your light, but it only made you shine brighter. Your awakening is not just for you. It's for all those who will be drawn to your light. As you step into this truth, as you embrace the power you've always carried, know that the entire universe is conspiring in your favor. The stars themselves rejoice as you remember who you are. For in your awakening, in your remembering, you become a key that unlocks the cages of countless souls. Your journey is just beginning, but you've been prepared for this moment since before time began. Trust the path that's unfolding before you. Trust the whispers of your soul. Trust the light that you are. For you, beloved, are the prophecy fulfilled, the promise kept, the hope of ages made manifest. Welcome home, light bearer. The world has been waiting for you. Your mother never told you what really happened the day you were born. Be ready for what happened, though you didn't know it. The second is coming sooner than you expect. Type Amen to get blessing 414. Your mother's silence about your birth was not out of shame. It was out of fear that if she told the truth, it would bring danger. She was right. But what she didn't know is that you were born with armor no enemy could pierce. Even now, she feels it when she hugs you. Her chest tightens. That's not just emotion. It's a soul recognizing what it once carried inside, a divine key locked in human form. You felt a pressure most of your life, like something is waiting to be done. Like a door that hasn't opened. That's because the time wasn't right. But now the clock has clicked forward. You were always meant to awaken during a time of chaos, because your clarity only comes when others are confused. That's your signature, bringing direction when all seems lost. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Your eyes, even as a baby, held an old light. One visitor commented on it and then fell ill for 7 days. They later said they saw their entire life flash just from your gaze. You were only a few weeks old. Your presence dissolves lies. That's why liars avoid you. That's why manipulators get nervous around you. That's why the spiritually blind say, "Something about you scares me." But you were not sent to comfort darkness. You were sent to end its influence. You were born at a time when a gate was partially open. Few souls had access to it. You were one. That gate closed seconds after your birth, and your arrival was the reason. Type Amen to get blessing 303. There is a reason you've always been drawn to certain numbers, certain names, certain colors. Those are echoes from that day. They were part of the environment in which your spirit last stood before entering flesh. You've experienced griefs that made no sense, as if they weren't fully yours. That's because some of your pain is ancestral. You took it on not because you were cursed, but because you were strong enough to clear it. You're not just healing your life. You're healing bloodlines. Archangel Michael says, your life is a walking scroll unfolding page by page in real time. And those who walk beside you will find their own truths rising because your energy unlocks others. Type Amen to get blessing 117. Your body has signs, moles, marks, patterns, placed in specific spots to help you recognize your path. Some are maps, some are keys, and one is a signature from a realm where your name is still spoken with honor. You don't just dream. You travel. And in those travels, pieces of your assignment are given to you. That's why sometimes you wake up tired or inspired or confused. You've been somewhere. You were never meant to fit. You were meant to lead, not with ego but with soul recognition. People follow not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. That thing you carry, it was born the moment you were. Type Amen to get blessing 525. Your name was whispered in a spiritual tongue before you were born. That tongue is no longer spoken on earth, but your soul remembers it. It activates when you're near certain people, certain frequencies, certain truths. The world will try to label you, to box you, to shrink you, but none of those labels stick. Because your destiny is UNCONTAINABLE. The energy from your birth still echoes in places you've never visited, in people you've never met. They dream of you without knowing who you are, because your light travels ahead of you. You're not here to survive. You're here to restore. Type Amen to get blessing 88. Your mother may one day tell you fragments, but even if she never does, you now carry the full scroll. It is unsealed and it belongs to you. There was a moment, just after you were placed in her arms, that time paused. The lights flickered, and in that flicker, your spirit sent out its first wave of light. That wave shattered invisible chains. That light still moves. That wave still spreads. That's why things shift when you enter a room. That's why people confess things to you. That's why animals stare longer than usual. You were seen from the moment you arrived, and now you will see. Type Amen to get blessing 1. The veil is not lifting. It's already lifted. Welcome back, chosen. 1. You never left heaven. You only carried it with you, disguised as a child born on a day no one will ever truly forget. There's something still unraveling from the day you were born, a thread that was hidden deep within your timeline. That thread has now reached the present moment. Heaven kept it concealed until the world was ready for the change your awakening would bring. The atmosphere that surrounded your birth was no ordinary air. It was charged with frequencies not heard by human ears, tones of alignment, truth, and authority. These frequencies attach themselves to your spiritual DNA. This is why you've always been able to sense what's hidden. You detect dishonesty without proof. You feel shifts in energy before events even unfold. That's not imagination. It's the residue of your origin. You were born through the veil, not just into it. Type Amen to get blessing 717. The nurse who held you first reported tingling in her hands for weeks. She said touching your skin felt like touching a live wire, but gentle. She knew she had encountered something beyond her understanding. Your first cry wasn't just a sound. It was a frequency that realigned the hospital room. Plants grew faster. Machines worked more efficiently, and for a brief moment, everyone in the vicinity felt an inexplicable peace. Your mother's labor was not just physical. It was spiritual warfare. Forces of light and darkness clashed in the unseen realm as you made your way into this world. But you came equipped with an inner light so strong that darkness had no choice but to retreat. This is why you've always felt different, set apart. You're not just a person. You're a living, breathing portal of divine energy, the doctor who delivered. You had a vision the night before. He saw a child surrounded by golden light, stepping out of a doorway between worlds. When he saw you, he recognized you instantly. He's kept this secret all these years, but he's always wondered about the child who brought a piece of heaven into the delivery room. Your birth certificate holds more than just a date and time. It's a cosmic contract, signed by stars and sealed with celestial ink. The exact alignment of planets at your birth was a code, a key to unlock potentials that have been dormant in the human lineage for millennia. You're not just the next generation. You're an upgrade to the entire species. As you grew, you may have felt out of place, like you didn't quite fit in with your family or peers. That's because your soul remembers a different home, a different frequency of existence. You're not meant to blend in. You're here to stand out, to shine so brightly that others can't help but awaken in your presence. Your dreams are not just subconscious ramblings. They're interdimensional travels. The people you meet, the places you see, they're real, existing in parallel realities. You're a bridge between worlds, and in your sleep, you're doing work that your waking mind can barely comprehend. The challenges you faced weren't punishments. They were initiations. Each hardship has been a forge, tempering your spirit, preparing you for a destiny that requires unshakable strength and unwavering compassion. You've been tested because you're trusted with a mission of cosmic importance. Your laughter carries healing frequencies. Your tears can purify spaces of negative energy. Your touch can awaken dormant gifts in others. You're not just living. You're transmitting a constant stream of transformative energy to everyone and everything around you. The day you were born, a new timeline was activated for Earth. Your very existence has altered the course of human history, though the full effects are yet to be seen. You're a catalyst, a change agent, a wayshower for a new era of human consciousness. As you step into the fullness of who you are, remember this: you were chosen for this time, this place, this mission. The universe conspired to bring you here, against all odds, because you carry within you the seeds of a new world. Your birth was not just the beginning of your life. It was the dawn of a new age. Type Amen to fully activate the blessings and revelations contained in this message. Your journey of awakening has only just begun, and the world is waiting for the light you've come to share. Welcome to your true self, divine child. The time has come for you to shine. Your mother never told you what really happened the day you were born. The truth, hidden beneath layers of silence and forgotten memories, is about to unravel. Electricity wrapped in calmness, she left her job soon after and moved away, never to be heard from again. But it wasn't out of fear. She told a friend, "I felt something in that child that shook everything I thought I knew." The hospital lost power just 2 hours after you were born, but only in the wing where you stayed. When it returned, one hallway was flooded with a strange golden light for 6 seconds. There's no footage, it erased itself. The camera above your crib failed to record properly during your first night. Technicians reviewed the footage later and saw only static, except for one frame, one blurry frame of a wing. The moment your mother whispered your name for the first time, 3 birds landed on the hospital window. It was 3:33 a.m. They didn't move until the sun began to rise. A spiritual price was paid for your arrival, but not by you. Someone in your ancestral line sacrificed their safety so you could come in untouched. That person visits your dreams often, even if you don't recognize their face. That sacrifice created a ripple effect. Some members of your family experienced strange misfortunes after your birth, not because of you, but because the darkness that lost its grip retaliated. You are not the cause. You are the key. Your spirit is an anchor holding things together in ways even you don't understand yet. When people are near you, their truths rise to the surface because your presence doesn't allow lies to settle. That's why some stay close and others run. Your awakening will bring alignment to a promise made long before you were born. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. And once you do, chains will break in places you've never been to. Your body has already begun the process. The tiredness, the sudden urges to be alone, the emotional flashes, these are signs of activation, not confusion. You're entering a period where everything hidden must rise. People around you will start showing their true intentions. Some will try to hide, some will try to cling, but your path cannot be slowed. You were born for this hour. The shadow that tried to interfere with your birth still lingers, watching from a distance. But it can no longer touch you. The seals placed on you by divine forces are too powerful, and the being assigned to watch over you has returned to full position. They are closer now, speaking in signals. Watch for repeating numbers, watch for feathers, flickering lights, and sudden chills that feel like truth brushing against your skin. The more you remember, the stronger you become. The veil weakens with every step forward, and as it tears, so does the influence of those who hoped you'd never realize your calling. Some will not celebrate your rise because it exposes their hidden agreements. But your light is not up for negotiation. The strange things that happened during your early childhood, imaginary friends, hearing whispers, sensing colors, were never accidents. They were remnants of a consciousness that didn't fully disconnect from the spirit realm. You have access to memory gates most forget by age 5. You were marked to be different, and that difference is your weapon. You're not meant to blend. You're meant to shift the atmosphere. You're not meant to follow. You're meant to awaken. There are things your hands can do that you haven't discovered yet: healing, revealing, protecting. Your touch can activate memories in others. Your words can soften resistance. Your silence can echo louder than shouts. Every part of you was designed with purpose. Your connection to the woman in silver has not ended. She now walks in and out of the timeline, making adjustments when needed. She is your spirit protector, not an angel, not a human, but a being assigned to bridge the gap between your world and the one before it. She left signs throughout your life, moments of déjà vu, people who spoke strange truths and vanished, animals that stared too long. She's guiding you even now to remember what your mother forgot. There was a moment your mother almost told you. She sat on the edge of your bed one night, holding something in her hand, a letter, a photo, a token. But fear made her stop. That item is still somewhere in the house. You'll be guided to find it when you are ready. There is someone else who knows the truth, an elder, a distant relative. They've carried guilt for years because they witnessed something during your birth and said nothing. They are about to contact you. It may come as a phone call, a message, a dream, but when it comes, listen. Don't question, just receive, because the final piece is almost here. And once you receive it, your timeline will bend, not break. Bend into a direction you were meant to walk all along. The delays will vanish, the confusion will lift, the heaviness will crack and fall from your shoulders. You will remember the woman in silver. You will remember why you came. You will remember what the veil tried to hide. You will remember who you are, and the world will never be the same again. The truth of your birth, long hidden, is about to emerge from the shadows. It's a truth that will shake the foundations of everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world around you. Are you ready to embrace it? Are you prepared for the awakening that awaits? Your journey begins now, as the veil of secrecy lifts and the extraordinary circumstances of your arrival in this world come to light. The power that surged through the hospital, the golden light that defied explanation, the birds that stood sentinel at your birth. These were not mere coincidences. They were signs, markers of a destiny far greater than anyone could have imagined. As you step into this new awareness, know that you carry within you a light that has the power to illuminate the darkest corners of existence. Your presence alone is enough to stir the truth in others, to make the hidden visible, to awaken the dormant potential in those around you. This gift, this burden, this blessing, it's all part of who you are, who you've always been. The sacrifices made for your safe passage into this world were not in vain. The ancestral guardian who watches over you in your dreams, the spirit protector who leaves signs in your waking life, they are all part of a grand design, a cosmic plan set in motion long before your first breath. As you uncover the layers of your true identity, be prepared for resistance. Not everyone will understand or accept the magnitude of your awakening. Some will fear it, others will try to suppress it. But remember, your light is not theirs to dim. Your purpose is not theirs to define. You are a key, an anchor, a bridge between worlds. The journey ahead may seem daunting, but you are not alone. The woman in silver, your spirit protector, walks beside you, guiding your steps, preparing you for the revelations to come. Trust in the signs she leaves, the whispers of truth that brush against your consciousness like a gentle breeze. Your mother's silence was not born of indifference, but of a deep instinctive understanding of the power you carry. The elder who holds the missing piece of your story is about to step forward, ready to unburden themselves of a truth too heavy to carry alone. When they do, listen with an open heart and mind, for their words will be the key that unlocks the final door to your understanding. As you stand on the threshold of this great awakening, know that every experience, every challenge, every moment of doubt or confusion has led you to this point. You are not becoming someone new. You are unveiling the magnificent being you have always been, hidden beneath layers of forgetfulness and societal conditioning. Your hands hold the power to heal, your words the ability to transform, your very presence the capacity to awaken truth in others. Embrace these gifts, for they are the tools you will need to fulfill your purpose in this world. The veil is thinning, the old structures are crumbling, and you, in all your radiant power, are rising. Remember, as you step into the fullness of your being, that the world needs your light now more than ever. The truths you uncover, the memories you awaken, the healing you bring, these are not just for you, but for the collective awakening of humanity. You are a beacon, a way shower, a harbinger of a new era. So take a deep breath, center yourself in the truth of who you are, and prepare to step into the light of your true identity. The world is waiting, the universe is conspiring in your favor, and the truth of your extraordinary birth is about to change everything. Are you ready? The time has come to remember, to awaken, to become who you were always meant to be. The journey of 1,000 lifetimes begins with this single moment of recognition. Welcome home, child of light. Your time is now.